Welcome to Raw Babes 101. We are your hosts, Miss KK and
Titty.
in the house tonight. Woo! How are you guys?
I'm committed to doing that every time.
Yeah, you are committed because last time you said you were like, this just feels different.
I'm like, because I was holding my breath and I'm like, how am I ever going to do this when you've been doing it the whole time? Why the shit isn't this working?
Because today things are happening a little bit from the sidebar circle jerk.
Sideways.
So
like
how are
my
all you
hair.
How are all you listeners and viewers doing? We fucking love you guys, and we hope you're just cruising in your car down the street, listening to Tiffany and I and me. Oh,
Me, myself, and I.
me and myself and I.
You got a little black spot right there. I got you, girl.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, didn't swipe off the rest of the makeup.
Dude, there's so much good looking under there. You're
Oh,
fine.
thanks. Talk. Guys, what's happening?
We're on fire. Chris and I have been tapping in like constantly. Real life is happening. We have to like kind of ground ourselves. I have to ground myself. I just was explaining to Kristen
Good talk.
how excited I've been. Because I've been actually seeing so many things unfold because I've been manifesting and it's like I manifested this shit like years ago. And, you know, I could see where it's discouraging when you put shit out there and it's not coming. But where your energy or where your thought goes, energy flows. And I don't know. I just can feel it tapping in. It's like a knowing. And, you know, I actually listened to another episode when I kept saying a knowing. And it almost sounded like I was saying annoying.
You're not annoying.
No, nothing that was annoying.
The cool
that I was
thing
talking
is,
about.
like what Tiffany was just talking about, I'm going to just touch on because she's sitting here saying like that she manifested and all this sort of stuff. She was getting downloaded with all these this information years ago. She just had this like innate knowing of all this stuff that was happening and going to be coming right into fruition, which is happening now. So yes, that's a part of manifestation, but it was literally like downloaded in her head. She was just like, okay, like I know I need to do this, and had this like pent up feeling in her body of just like she needed to just do it. And it's like, I know this is right. And the cool thing is, she kept leaning into the process, and she kept leaning into podcasting, and sometimes it's just a redirection. She needed those tools along the way to learn certain things that were going to be used later on. So if you guys are doing a creative project and you're trying so hard and you're just seeing these roadblocks and it's becoming really difficult, just know you're learning. You're in the evolution process. You're learning how to work through a problem. And so it's going to give you so much life skill for the next path when you're on the actual path you're supposed to be. Because there's so many things that Tiffany brought to the table that I had no idea about. And she's like,
and I already knew.
Yeah, she's like, I've been here before. Yeah. I've done this. And now it's just like paves the way. Every person that you meet brings a tool for you.
And we don't always understand why at that time in the moment. It just makes sense later down the road.
It does. That's the ahas.
It's crazy because it brings me back to the conversation of time and like how time can be, we hold time so close to our hearts, but time isn't really relevant with what's happening, because like what's being called into our lives and the energy that we're putting into it, there is no concept in time in that.
Nope.
If you actually look back, a year is a perfect time for transition into things. Now, when you're really fucking leaning in, and I'm going to use Kristen and I as an example, because we've done a lot of shit in just a year. And we did a lot of shit in the last 2 years, the growth. And that happened because we've been obsessed with the process, and we've been obsessed with the work. We've been obsessed with just putting the message out and connecting with people and sharing, leaning in. And that's what happens when you lean in. All of a sudden, you become a pro at what it is that you're leaning into. You know more than the average person. And that's That's fucking dope, because that means it brings us to the discussion that we have so much to bring to the table.
Exactly.
Each and every individual. One of
Exactly.
us.
And when we keep leaning in and we keep practicing and we're doing hundreds and hundreds of hours, that's how you become good at something. And a lot of people we want to be good right now, and we want to have success right now, and we want to have
I resonate with that.
a beautiful body in 2 days. Well, guess what? Time is the most valuable thing at the same time, and frequency, like Tiffany was saying, time doesn't actually mean anything. And it's like when you raise your frequency and you get to this state, that's when you call it in. So you can't call in something when you're down here. You just can't. It just doesn't work like that. It's just not.
And I remember that feeling, and it's like, okay, so your subconscious is saying no because of old thought patterns and old beliefs. And I tell you, that's exactly where it comes from. But the time that it takes to turn that around, I remember very vividly at the time of learning manifesting things and like these memes and quotes, and I'm like, these quotes are awesome, and I can hold them close to my heart because I can really resonate with them, but that's not going to actually change a course of action.
Yes, perfect.
It's not. It's actually doing it over and over, and or if you're reading that quote every fucking day, you're gonna believe it eventually.
Exactly.
You are. It's like the way the human mind works. We've seen it time and time again in dictatorship. The fucking leader says the same thing over and over again. The people are going to believe it.
Exactly.
And those who do not, that's also a hard road and a lot of road bumps that you're working against.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to be different. It's hard to
step outside of the box.
Step outside of the box. It's hard to do something out of the norm. It's very uncomfortable. We're worried about judgment. We're worried about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But if we just tap in and we're just listening to what our intuition is, it's almost like we're already being told what we need to do next, or where the concept is coming from. What is so close to your heart? What is driving you to do that thing? What is making you obsessed with that thing? Yeah. Find that thing, be obsessed with it, within reason, have some balance.
Yeah, always have the balance.
Yeah, because like right now, I've been working so hard on my business and Raw Babes. I had to check myself for a sec because I wasn't spending time with my kids in the way that I want to. I wasn't connecting with them. I was just being this fucking robot mom, doing dinner, cleaning the house, making sure everybody's doing their thing. And then
Forgot the joy.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking about what's bringing them joy, like my kids joy. So what did I do the other day?
The coolest thing ever.
The fucking coolest thing ever.
It was dope, you guys. I was like, yes.
Charlie does now understand that I like to document everything. It's just the way it is. And I actually see nothing wrong with that. I grew up with aunts and uncles and grandparents who had the video camera, and they're just trying to capture the moment. And I think it's so beautiful. So what we did, I captured the moment and I put my fucking phone away and we did our thing. I made a charcuterie board right from the trunk of my car because we went to the grocery store. We grabbed whatever we wanted. We grabbed a shit ton of blankets, our canvases, our paints, anything that we need to do to be creative in that time in the moment.
Which I want to say, Charlie is extremely creative and does
very creative,
amazing work with.
She takes after her mom.
Pretty much anything that she touches.
Yes, she loves to paint. She loves to draw.
This is exciting.
And that's something that I can really tap into because I've always been like that.
You can share that together. It's
100%.
a passion that you can share.
So I'm like, we're going to take this shit. We're going to go to a park and we're going to sit and we're going to take in the vitamin. I posted the other day.
That was awesome.
I said, give me all the vitamin C. I meant D, motherfucker. Jesus.
She likes the vitamin D. You know what I'm talking about.
One of my girls, she's like, you mean vitamin D, right?
You're like,
yeah, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
I meant my vitamin D.
Did you keep it up there?
I sure did.
Good for you.
Because you know what? Sometimes it's like real human like defaults and
it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
I
hilarious.
think it brings engagement. Someone said something about it made them think about me.
Yeah.
So like,
they're like, oh, she really means she likes the D, you know.
And if you think
that's what I was thinking of the whole time.
And if you think I'm not the brightest person to put that out there, you're still thinking about me. So I don't give a fuck. No fucks given. Yeah, so we had a beautiful time. We had a picnic. Yeah. It was all about just creative juices flowing, soaking up the vitamin C, D.
It totally caught my eye, and it was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's perfect. And you know what I liked about it is
beautiful.
the fact that Tiffany shared this is something that she wanted to do and have a bit more of connection and special time. And then me watching her do it and bring her thought into manifestation was like, fucking good for you.
Yeah.
I love that. I love action. I like it when you speak yourself into existence. Oh, yeah. You can speak whatever you want into existence, you guys, because when you're actually speaking about it, you're putting it out into the ethers and you're calling it in. So what do you want to call in? What do you want to focus on? Because it will expand, and you can expand on the most magical things, or you can expand on the shittiest things.
This is really cool conversation because I'm reading a book right now, and it's called why am I saying that when I don't know what it is?
It doesn't matter.
It's the 10
because
times
there's no rules.
rule. It's awesome. Christina shared it with me. She basically bases like this was the first book that she's ever read.
You knew it. The 10 times rule.
The 10 times rule.
You had it.
And it reminds me a lot of like the way that Gary Vaynerchuk works. But I was reading
I don't know who that is.
Gary Vaynerchuk. Oh, he's okay. He's just like, okay, here's another thing. I started putting work into learning social media, what my calling was going to be, because there was a period of time where I actually didn't know what it was, but I kept being called to do a podcast. So I started two other podcasts, before this one, and I didn't know what it was. So I was actually, Gary Vaynerchuk is a social media, I don't know what you call him.
Guru?
I guess so. He's just really good at marketing and talking structure. He
found something that worked for him.
Absolutely.
And now he's sharing it.
He shares the shit out of it. And I've listened to his podcasts, I've read his books, and I did all that not even knowing what I was going to do. Like, what was I basing this knowledge off of? I didn't even know why I was so called to listen to this stuff. But the 10 times rule is talking about, well, the part that resonated with me just recently is being obsessed with something is not a bad thing, because if anything, it's more of a natural human thing. We actually obsess over things even as a baby, as a child. We're so fixated on that.
Spider-Man. That's Cassius right now. Miles Morales. He is Spider-Man every second, every day.
And I remember going through that. And I actually think that now that I've learned this perspective I'm really like, wow, this is actually really powerful, because when I speak about things like this podcast and the work that we're doing, damn rights I'm obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. I can't stop thinking about it. And I lean in and I put all the work into that. And then that's what makes me a professional within this realm. So when we are doing that, and say I'm going to give you a little business sidebar advice, and this is based on the book, and I 100% agree with this, is when you're trying to build a business, whether you're a fitness instructor, a wellness coach, a Reiki healer, whatever it is that you're doing, know that there's a lot of competition out there for you. There really is. There's a lot of options. But what is going to make you stand out more than the rest? Well, that's such a broad fucking statement. Like, holy shit, that's overwhelming to even think about. But if you are obsessed with the work, you are going to find what makes you stand out more than anybody. And that means you need to take 10 times the action to do it. And the only way you're going to take 10 times the action to do it is if you're actually obsessed and you're like leaning into the thing that really fills your heart. All you want to do is learn, research, write about it, learn about it, share it.
And you know what? I'm going to jump in here. This is what leads back to energy. So when Tiffany's talking about being obsessed about something and what's different, everybody is different, and everybody's going to have their own signature and frequency. So what you may get from Tiffany's Reiki healing versus, let's say Nikki or Shiona or myself or another intuitive, it's a different frequency and it's a different energy, and every person has so much value and so much to offer you and different perspectives. So when you
perspective is golden.
So when you see
golden ticket.
It is. When you see each one of us, nobody's going to be the same, and there really is no competition in my books. And that's why I liked how you said that, because then we could have this conversation to say there isn't one other person out there that I'm competing with. I'm here for myself, and then I'm here to share what I've learned along my path with everybody and anybody who is willing and wanting to learn maybe what could help in their life a little bit further, and then share the tools with that. So yes, leaning into everything 10 times. So I lean into my spirituality, I lean into healing with my counselor, I lean into all those areas to then bring all of it to the table, into the Reiki studio, into Raw Babes, and have all of this knowledge. And it's like, you know, reading these books and listening to other podcasts,
That's
different perspectives.
10 times more than the average person. I'll tell you that.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that. And that's why we're putting out the work that we're putting, because we're leaning in, I'd say 100 times.
That's and that's what we always say to everybody is show up for yourself first. This comes even with relationships, and I don't know if we should segue into that or if we're gonna save it for the next one.
I think we'll save it for the next one.
But yeah, it's like keep leaning into you, filling yourself up instead of other people and distractions.
Very distraction.
Oh,
This
very distracting. Well, thank you. I'm distracting.
You're very distracted.
Just kidding.
But it's true. We could easily get romanticized by the things that keep us distracted from feeling the feels, going in the direction. Hey, I had a long time where I was afraid of success. I had to do work around that. Like, what did success really look like to me?
Yeah.
What did it look like? And it was weird. There was one part. There was a huge part of me, just in the way that I grew up, with the lack of mindset, like the lack of, because we were poor, like we just didn't have the funds to do anything. So a lot of my life was around that perspective, and living in that was really hard. This go back to like manifest and like these different ways of thinking, these quotes and stuff. It was really hard to be like, how do I have a better relationship with money? Not even knowing that that's really what it was. I'm never going to fucking believe, you know, what's possible if I'm stuck in that way.
Yeah, in the lack mentality, because even you're born into that environment, and then what happens is we're conditioned, and then we just create that into our own reality, and then we just replay that karmic cycle. So Tiffany had to then acknowledge she had something there, and that she had this unhealthy relationship with the idea of success and the thought of money and different things like that. And then that's why you go and seek external help to say, whoa, I didn't even know that I had this false programming and this condition. And
no, because I'm just gonna interrupt for a sec, because the only reason why you're even gonna think of like that, I don't know, for me, it was like seen, so with the mindset of the lack of, and then trying so hard to not be, and if anything, I was creating more of a static energy between me and that thing. So then when a roadblock came up, that was an indication to me that it was not worth it for me, that it was not meant to be.
That was your cop out.
It was a total cop out. But because I was so insecure, I was not secure enough to say or to see it as more of a possibility.
That's right.
Rather than, this isn't for me. Look at,
for you to leap over, to jump higher, to gain.
Girl, I remember counting on both of my hands of all the travesties in my life, and I'm like, I may as well be dead.
Wow.
May as well be fucking dead.
Just held on to that story.
Yeah, I held on to all these things. I remember counting. I'm like, all these things have happened. I'm like, oh my God, I may as well be dead.
Poor me. Victim.
But that's not the case.
No.
It's just because you gotta look at it from a different angle. Like, you're here for a reason. Mm-hmm. You got lots to give, girl. Guy.
Lots to learn.
Fellow friend.
Fellow circle mate. Circle checker.
There's lots to bring to the table.
It's so awesome, because Tiffany and I have come from this place where everything is making sense. So it's like, whoa, that tragedy was really to help us in this position. And but all these things are just redirections for us understanding, like now with the circles. It's like all this stuff with the podcast, you can take this episode home with you and continue to do the work and listen to what we're saying. Then you come to the circle and you do some deeper work, energy work, healing, and come out transformed. And then guess what you're going to do? Keep leaning into the process every day. You cannot give up on yourself. And I'm not saying, like, here's the thing. You go through depression, you go through anxiety, and then people can choose to like go on pills to like mask or to get through. So the goal there, if you need to do that, that's okay. We're going to help you get your strength, get the tools to be able to heal and deal with that anxiety attack or that depression or those limiting thoughts and those limiting beliefs, so that you can turn around and you can feel this incredible, empowered, victorious self, that you don't need to ever lean into that. You can actually work on whatever problem you're dealing with in your life, because I'll tell you, there is nothing too big for you to heal and to go through. It may seem like this incredible mountain that you need to, oh my gosh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You signed up for it. This is why we came here, is to evolve and to learn. That is all that we're doing.
It's definitely, I loved, like, I had this quote growing up, and it was, God was never going to give me too much that I couldn't handle. And there was a huge part of my life that I did not believe in God, but I still believed in that. Like, I knew that nothing was going to get in my way in life that I couldn't handle. And when those things would happen, I would find the little ounce of strength just to get me through. And it's like when I was potty training the kids, or teaching them a new lesson, and I'm trying a tactic over and over and over again, and I'm like, this isn't gonna work. They're not fucking listening. And then I get this like weird innate download. It'd be like, no, Tiff, hang tight. Do it for a little bit longer. Boom, within days, it worked.
Yes.
Kid was potty trained. Lessons were learned. I'm like, holy shit, I almost gave up. I almost gave up on making our lives better.
That's right. And that's even the people that are like trying to lose that last 10 pounds, or that person that's trying to make their business go or needing clientele. Change it up. Change up your energy. Find the joy. This just recently happened to me. Tiffany and I, we've been doing a lot of work for the circles and Raw Babes and my own personal practice and being a mom and all these things. And then I was noticing, I was like, I actually pulled the card and I was reading it and just doing some journaling. And I was like, okay, I get it. Where's my joy? Where's the balance of joy? So Tiffany had come over and we did some brainstorming and planning for our next circle. And then I was like, you know what?
I invited her over.
Yeah, she invites me over and I'm like, this is perfect, because this is what I need. I need some joy, some laughter about.
So what did we do? We played darts. We played ping pong. We went in the hot tub. We played Cards Against Humanity.
Oh yeah, and what's that thing that I'm obsessed with?
VR.
Guys, use VR with discretion though, because
you get lost.
Yes, and you don't, nothing for its balance again. You do not want to do this for very long, because it's virtual reality, and let's stay in our own reality. So for the moment of joy, I am obsessed. It is called, what's the dance?
Oculus. Oh, the Oculus is
the Beats. What? No, what's the dance program called?
Girl, I don't know. Oh, jeez. I'm barely on that thing.
It's so amazing, you guys.
Kristen's obsessed. This is clear indication that Kristen's obsessed with dancing.
Yes.
Like, obsessed.
So the funniest thing was, not only did I not go over for one night, I came back for two.
She came over the second night.
I was like, bring me into joy. I want more joy.
It was pretty funny.
It was so fun. So I had dance offs with Tiffany.
I went to bed.
On the second night, on the Saturday.
I went to bed at 11.
She was sleeping on the couch, first of all. But I have to say something. I had what's it called?
The VR.
The VR. So I have the VR on my face, and Tiffany's laying there on the couch, and I'm giving her, and I'm doing all this dancing, and she's sitting on the couch, and she's getting to see what I look like.
Because I'm not on the VR with her.
Yeah, she's not a part of this. and I'm losing it. And like,
I couldn't stop laughing.
when I get into it, I'm not just like doing it like this. I'm like, bah,
no, she's like full on. But it was funny because you kept like belting out in this belly laugh, sharing the laugh that I was doing to her because I was literally rolling off the couch. It was laughing at her.
It was the best.
And then it was getting her going.
So I'm dancing and laughing. So I became a dancing laugher, and I have a new talent.
A laughing dancer.
Laughing dancer. I'm an LD. So then Tiffany goes to bed, and I'm with Dave and Steve.
Yeah.
So the three of us decide to put on the headsets, and we are now VR.
Yeah.
VR
dancing.
Pros.
You're fucking. The guys got dancing.
They're dancing with me, and they're all. The funniest thing, if you guys could have watched this, and you guys could have seen, like, if there was a bird's eye view, we're all together, but we're in separate rooms, and the music is going in our ears.
It's pretty funny.
And we're all talking to each other within the three of us.
Yeah.
And so here I'm like, go, go, go. And then Dave will be like, do it, get it, yeah. And then Steve says something, and Steve's like, we're like, are you even there, Steve? And then he's like, I'm here. Anyhow, you got to try it. It's so much fun. There's so many other things that it does.
You can download a lot of games. A lot of cool games. Even my mother-in-law, they have one too. Mm-hmm. And she's got the game where whatever you want to call it, the game. And it's like you get to work out. So it's very similar to that, but you're dodging way more. And you're having to hit way down low.
So you're getting a workout.
Yeah. I've literally broke out a sweat.
Yeah.
She's like, you gotta try this. You gotta try this.
It's great and it's fun.
Super fun.
I had a really good time. Thank you so much for having me over. I laughed a lot, and I'll be coming back again multiple times. So, we're gonna shorten the shit for this one. We talked about a lot. Nothing that we planned to talk about, but this is how we roll.
This is just how we're gonna fucking do it today.
This is how we're rolling.
Cut it out.
Roll out. I got my dun 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 dun.
But Chris is gonna pull a card.
Obviously. What else am I gonna do?
Well, talk more.
Guys, come to our circle. Hey, guys, come to our circle. You know what it is? It's a way to tap in, to start to get connected, be with like-minded people, and experience something that you haven't experienced. And I know so many people are seeing our posts, they're hearing about the circle, and they're having this pull. And if you're listening right now, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Your soul is pulling you and calling you because it's time.
Yeah.
It's time to do the work outside of your little fucking shell.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, some people, like, you're not always going to be ready for whatever. You're not. And that's fine. And
this is Tiffany's strong suit. When you're not ready, she's going to fucking push you. And guess what I'm doing right now? I'm pushing you. Come on, baby. Oh, it came.
Oh, that's the first time. Nice, KK.
Okay, you guys, we have the one that I was like, oh, if this card comes out, I'm not going to be able to pronounce it. It's happening. Imrama? No. Imrama? How about we go Imrama? I'm going to call it Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? Our circles, obviously.
Duh.
Look at.
And this also can indicate. Okay, I wish we knew a little bit more about Imrama.
Imrama.
No, because there's an M.
Okay. You guys, this is going to be a debate, so you'll find out on another podcast because we'll let you know what
we are going to let you know.
The actual pronunciation is.
And because of Minnetonka, there's a place, that's considered a place called Minnetonka or
Minnetonka. So this one is the place. That is it. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. So
should I just read the book? Yeah, let's just read the book.
Okay.
Whatever came to you, share, but I'm going to read the fucking book.
Well, I mean, where are you being called to journey to? And this had a lot to do with what I was referring to in terms of like in the beginning stages of me podcasting. I didn't know what the fuck I was podcasting. I didn't know why I was drawn to do it. Yeah. I didn't know why I was drawn to listen to Gary Vee and read these books. I was part of a masterminds group. I didn't even know why I was there. I was like, a masterminds group is for independent businesses to get together and learn and collaborate off of each other. And I didn't even have a business yet. I did not know why I was doing these things. So I think I would have had a way clearer message had I got quiet and just went within that. So,
Oh my
Kristen,
God, this is so cool. I'm so glad we're sharing this. Okay. The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul. So another quick thing, Tiffany's soul was telling her.
we're going to call it Imrama.
Yeah, Imrama. That's going to be the new thing
I
now.
had an Imrama.
She had... I had an Imrama. You have an Imrama. Your Imrama is you. It's your soul.
Instead of an epiphany.
It's an Tiffany. Yeah, this is great.
It's not an epiphany.
It's an activity. Okay. This is cool because you guys, your soul, like, even through my journey, I didn't know I was going to do Reiki and circles and a podcast. I didn't. I just trusted the process. I got my bullshit fear out of the way and just kept doing.
You sure
just
did.
kept showing up. Okay. A voyage on which we don't know where we are going. You can't make this. Oh my God, you guys. This just, I will never not be rattled. I am rattled. Okay. That you don't know where you're going, but our soul knows the way. What did we just say? Fuck. If you pulled this card, you are either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is to journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on a desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous. You're going to have to finish right there. Spontaneous. My eyes started doing that thing.
Of course, you give me a word I can't pronounce.
Sorry.
Pilgrimages.
Oh, pilgrimages. Pilgrimages. Oh my God.
I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage is impossible, journey through the portal of your heart. What? Follow the invisible soul train and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie, but a sacred time or place. About a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you've been calling to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. Work your light activation.
Okay, this is everybody hold the card, hold your heart. Let's repeat this.
Okay. May seeds find, back up, bitches. May seeds of light long ago planted begin to rise. May seeds of light long ago planted begin to rise. I am ready to remember ancient secrets from lands that my soul knows from times past. May I be held by ancient lineages that my soul has served and remembered that I don't have to do it all alone.
Exactly. Come to the circle. This is what it means.
Okay.
Wow.
This is something that I've been saying also. This is a piece of advice I've been sharing. And I actually don't remember if I said this in our last episode or not that we recorded. Greats, don't do it alone. If you're making a huge transition in your life, why do you think you gotta do it alone, girl?
You
God?
don't.
Fellow friend. Seriously,
Applesauce.
do you think the president became president by himself? Fuck no. Do you think Gabby Bernstein did it by herself? No, she fucking didn't. Any celebrity, Beyonce, she didn't fucking do it by herself.
No, we have a team.
No, you got a fucking team, man. You got people there to raise you up in the areas that you need to move you forward.
And if you don't, it's time to change. It's time to find.
It's called release.
Let go.
Let go of the things that you're trying to control.
Call in.
Duh.
This card is beautiful. We're going to keep this word alive. Imrama. Where's your soul calling you to journey to? And you know what? Your soul knows the way. And even when people come into a healing session for the first time and then they leave after, it's just like this innate knowing of like, oh, they just feel relieved. You need to tap into this side. I'm telling you, it's such a beautiful, fruitful, vivacious. Anyway.
Okay, let's wrap
love
this
you
shit
guys.
Up. Love you.
Wrapped. Shh, 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 shh. Sending you all the love. Bye.